everyone. It's a Thursday, and it is Allie's birthday. Happy birthday, Allie.
Happy birthday. Hey.
Oh, there you
She's
are.
currently keeping us alive for the next 40 minutes.
All right.
As we go to visit an old friend for her birthday.
Oh, I'm so happy for you guys. Allie's mostly had the day off of work today, maybe like half. At least I'm glad to see you guys out and about and that there is sun shining on your face. You deserve the sun on your birthday.
Yeah. I sent her a happy birthday message, but she didn't send me a message back. So it's gotta be.
Yeah, she should be able to
she's
stay
driving
on LinkedIn today. So birthdays are now kind of attached memory-wise to Automation Fair because Allie and I celebrated her birthday together at Automation Fair in Boston last year. So how timely that we are talking about Automation Fair 2024 today. We actually have Christine Spella from Rockwell Automation joining us. Christine, can you hear or see us? Let me try to pop her on the stage here, but she was having a little bit of issues with her audio. Christine, hi, can you hear me or see me? No? Can you guys try to talk to her and see if she can hear you guys?
Hey, Christine.
Can you hear us? Got volume from anyone? Oh.
Okay, so we're gonna have to have her figure that out, and we'll bring her back on in a minute. But yeah, we wanted to talk about how excited we are about Automation Fair. This will be our second time going, me and Allie. Courtney, how about you? Have you been before?
This is actually going to be my first time ever.
Very exciting.
I'm quite excited. I am super excited. I actually looked at the list of all the talks today, or all the sessions, and I got myself hyped.
Yes. So what talks were those during the so there's I guess there's a lot of different things going on. There are training days beforehand, and then there's a couple of days of the show floor. But hang on, Brandon, you didn't get a chance to answer this question too. Have you been to Automation Fair before?
Yeah, this will be my second time attending. Last time was back in Chicago. Yeah, so really.
What year was that in Chicago?
Would have been 2022, I believe, 2021.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, no, it was really, really good first year introduction into it. Did the full 4 days that time with PSUG and all that other stuff. So really good
nice.
Chance to get out and kind of my first crack at professional networking outside of the country. So it was kind of it always kind of take my first time going to an automation show. So
well, clearly it was good enough that you're going back.
Yeah.
And that'll probably always hold a little special place for you, right? Too, as your
absolutely.
first time doing that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So hopefully Christine will jump back on here, and if she really can't hear us, she's gonna try from her phone. Sweet. This is Automation Ladies, what we're known for. It can't always go right. But by the way, actually, if people don't know you, Brandon, you want to give a quick intro to yourself and as one of our wonderful community members. We had an episode come out recently that we actually recorded way earlier in the year at Automate, which is the first time that we met in person, right?
Yep.
And then subsequently, of course, became best friends at OT SCADACon. And now we got some collaborations in the works. So I'm pretty excited to have met you and for you to kind of be in our community.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, give our audience members a quick intro if they don't know you.
You betcha. So yeah, I'm Brandon Peters. I'm the president and CEO of Shockwave Automation. Kind of founded here within the last couple of years. This last year was our first year in operation here. So really just trying to grow our footprint here in North America. Kind of handle everything process control, process automation related, mechatronics automation for whether that's oil and gas, mining. So really in that PLC, distributed control systems, SCADA systems, kind of our wheelhouse. So just building up different suites of software that we can kind of provide as turnkey solutions for our clients. So just kind of another one of your smaller system integrators in North America.
Kind of another one. Okay, you're not giving yourself enough credit here.
Yeah.
You're very young by industry standards.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have gone out on your own. which is very impressive, and already have, a good suite of clients and stuff that you're developing, not just doing like service contracts and stuff, which you do those.
Yep.
But you're also developing some novel like software stuff for your particular, bread and butter use cases for your customers, right? So, okay, I'll let you speak about yourself that way, but not for too long.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot more going on than just another little integrator with you, Brandon.
There's no ego associated with it. We're just trying to grow what we truly believe in, and just trying to push good solutions. So
yeah, which is why you're here and we're talking to you.
Absolutely,
because we love that. By the way, just Brandon gave everybody Yetis at OT SCADACon. We all have either purple or black Shockwave automation Yetis, and
yeah, I heard that next year we're trying to find somebody who can do custom cowboy hats. So keep that on the radar for next year.
Yes, Christine is here and she can hear me, but we cannot see you, Christine. And Courtney's back.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I don't think your connection's going to be good for this. So let me pop you guys off. But okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about some things that we are excited about doing at Automation Fair, because we just received a schedule today. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of mute you, Courtney, because that was pretty rough. We are going to be attending Automation Fair as media this year, which is very exciting. We have found that Automation Ladies is considered a media company because we make content, and it makes sense. But it's pretty cool that we're going to be able to get some briefings, product briefings, which are basically customer panels or experts, I guess, that will talk about different product groups. Oh, Christina's here, and she is now backstage properly, and I can see your face. And let me pop you on here. Christine, hello.
There she is.
Oh, now we can't hear you. Hang on. Oh, like I say with our live demos. Murphy somehow is part of our group, and he rears his ugly head sometimes, especially during live things, of course. It has to be during live things. Speaking of live, well, Christine, while you maybe try to figure that out, and I'm sorry that I don't have any great... I wish Albert was here. We need our IT guy to be running on these shows now as well, I think.
Yeah. Well, yeah, take a look at your settings and see if you got the right mic selected, too. That might be a good thing to check, and then...
Yeah, there's... And, oh, we have audience comments. I have been looking at the private chat to make sure that I caught any writing, since we can't hear Christine. But I'm going to go ahead and look at a few audience comments while we see if you can figure out your... No, we still can't hear you. So maybe try joining it again. I don't have much that's like, did you plug it in, but these things seem to be fickle. So... Michael,
what about me? Am I okay now, or am I still not great?
You're coming.
I have
now.
more bars. Okay.
All right. Yes. So we're going to be meeting with Mass Dollar Technologies at Automation Fair this year. Pretty excited about that. Both Michael and would love to meet more of their team. All right. This will be my 7th Automation Fair. I am not sure how to pronounce your name. If it's Chaya, or that would be a lovely name. Chaya Jacobs. If it's pronounced any other way, please let me know. I love learning new names. That would be very cool. I would love to meet you there. I hope to see you. Yes.
I've never been before, but I've been to like all these, I've been going to trade shows for a decade, and I've heard people talking about Automation Fair, but I don't know like why it's different from the other trade shows that I go to like pretty much every other year. I'm curious.
Yeah, you'll see.
Personally, just like what should I expect? For it to be, like different. I know there's like a lot of talks on very interesting subjects. So that was like one of the first things I noticed, actually. But like, yeah, I'm just curious to see what makes it different from like all the other trade shows we go to.
Yep. Yeah. So, And I actually was wrong. It's not my first automation fair. It is my second. I went for half a day to the one in Houston, and I walked the expo floor for a little while. And then I thought that Chris Lukey blew me off because he was too busy, and I had lunch and I didn't feel well, so I just left. I've learned much since then. Now being the person that would have been like blown somebody off at a show accidentally because I'm too busy and somebody thinking I'm a jerk because of it. I've now realized how dumb that is to think that because somebody didn't get back to me, they were like, no, I really don't want to see this person.
It's funny how your perspective changes over
I
time,
know, right?
especially the more that you go to and get involved with, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's great.
Christine. Hello. Can you hear me? Oh, I think now she can't hear me.
Oh,
Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to post my questions in the chat. Okay, so.
where there's a will, there's a way.
No, oh, we still can't hear her. See, that's the problem. I could post my questions to her in the chat and then she could answer them if she just couldn't hear me. But now that we can't hear her,
Can you hear me? Oh, for a second.
Yeah.
You did?
Yes, it's just very delayed.
No?
Yes,
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, hold on.
Yes, we figured it out.
Woo!
Vlad blames OT. Yeah. By the way, we got to clear this up. Vlad's supposed to be coming with us. He's going to Automation Fair as well. So if you guys are not familiar with the Manufacturing Hub network, they have a great podcast. Actually, Alicia Lomas was just on there yesterday, and I missed it. But definitely, you guys check that out, and then you'll be able to meet him probably at some point. He'll be hanging out with us during the show. But Christine, I think you may have just a bad connection, but while we've got you, can I ask you to give us a quick intro?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm really glad to be here, although I apologize for the technology issues.
Yeah, likewise.
Nothing has happened.
On brand.
Nothing has happened all day on a million different meetings, but the minute you're on a live stream,
it's the
Murphy's
curse of the
Law
live
that's going to
stream.
happen.
It is what it is. Yeah.
So I'm Christine Spella. I'm really excited to meet you guys in person at Automation Fair this year. I lead our digital demand and integrated marketing teams at Rockwell. And this is going to be my probably 10th Automation Fair. So
all right.
I'm a little bit of a veteran.
So
Nice.
Having been a veteran, I think that we probably have a mix of people that have both been before or been many times. And then probably quite a few people that have never been. And what would you say they should be looking forward to this year in particular, especially if they've been to shows past?
Yeah, that's a great question, Nikki. So I always say you really have to plan your time, but we have done a couple of things this year, changed up our schedule to give people more opportunities than they've had in the past to take advantage of everything Automation Fair has to offer. So the good news is, for the first time ever in Automation Fair's 30+ year history, we will have our expo floor open for 3 full days, which means extra time to be able to visit the 130 different partners and Rockwell booths that are going to be there, and to really dig into all of the technology and be able to ask those domain experts the questions and have that time to not feel rushed on the show floor. So that's a big win. And then, a lot of our attendees are there. I know, you will. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday will be full expo days for us at Automation Fair. The not to miss, in my opinion, is definitely our keynotes. Last year, we brought to Automation Fair keynote sessions on 3 days. This year they will be on Monday afternoon and Tuesday and Wednesday morning. And they are going to be amazing. We have some great speakers, both internal and external. I'm really looking forward to a fireside chat that we're going to have on Wednesday morning with our CEO, Blake Moret, and NVIDIA's head of Omniverse, Rev Liberian. So that's going to be a great session. I can't wait for that one. We're going to be talking about everything that's coming new in the space in technology, but we're also going to have some great external speakers who are going to talk about the power of innovation and how to bring the human elements to AI as we all look at ways we're adopting AI in our lives and in our work as well. And so I think that that's going to be really exciting. And then we have over 450 hours of learning sessions, labs, content that's happening across the week. So if you haven't already done it and you're going to Automation Fair, there's amazing tools in your registration and in your mobile app to be able to plan your week and make sure that you're hitting all of the stops.
But you got to make sure to register for those labs and classes now, because I know many of them are already filled up.
Yeah, they go like hotcakes as soon as
they do.
Yeah.
And so I think it's also very smart of you to extend the expo a little, because I think one of the only kind of not criticisms, but things that we wish that we had known last year was that there was no expo the first 2 days. And that if we hadn't signed up for things in advance, because all the classes fill up, you can't really do much in the first 2 days. Other than of course, the networking and, external meetings and things. But like if you completely miss the boat on registering for anything on the first day, you may be sitting around twiddling your thumbs a little bit. Or, just stick around. There's obviously just tons of people in town that you can meet with. And lots of people have, get-togethers and things kind of outside of the official programming, right? A lot of the sponsors. So I'm sure you can find something to do, but make sure to register for those.
Well, definitely make the most out of your agenda by going into that registration and selecting the sessions that are most important to you. If there's something that's hot on your list that you didn't get into, you can always, do a day of check to see if there's any cancellations that would open up a spot. But also on Monday, well, actually throughout the week, a couple of things that people might not know of to take advantage of that are really value add are we have a number of summits that we host during Automation Fair Week. And these are 4-hour summits that are really great deep dives into areas that are important for different user groups. So we have the Process User Group Summit. We have the Motion User Group Summit. We have a Plex Customer Summit. We also host an OEM Top to Top Summit. And we're doing one this year on new capacity, which is our way of talking about all of the new greenfield build and new development that's happening around the world as, investments are really creating a big boon in developing new manufacturing operation centers as well. And so this is, how do you build for the future? How do you think about all of the things today that if you had built a facility 20 years ago might not have been on your radar to make the most out of creating effective operations for your organizations?
Isn't that so exciting? At least I think to most people, like when you've had to go back and work on old stuff and make it work for so long, like thinking of having just like a blank sheet and getting to use all the latest and greatest seems like a pretty fun place to be at. Vlad has some experience to share from 2019. He remembers there being really great vertical sessions.
There are
roundtable conversations. So
we call them industry forums, and they're in the session catalog as well. You can select those. I think the biggest demand for seats are in the hands-on labs for those advanced training pass attendees. But we offer the most popular ones multiple times throughout the week, and we offer, a number, hundreds actually, about 250 sessions with our general access pass. So there's a ton to choose from in that as well. And you can stand by for filled sessions. So as I mentioned, if the day of you have something you really wanted to get into and you miss the boat on registering, if you go to the room, there's often a chance someone couldn't make that session due to another commitment, and then you'll have a chance to participate.
That is really cool. Yeah. So, and if you are on the fence about coming, I mean, I'm about to go change my ticket, so it's like not too late to change your plans.
Yeah, and
Never too late,
California.
especially if you're local. You know,
Yeah.
it's a easy way to get a ton of learning packed into a very tight time frame.
Yeah. Well, and I think another
I
one
actually
too,
registered for every day. Sorry, go ahead.
Nice.
Glad you did, Courtney, since you don't have
That's
to
all
fly.
good.
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
no,
Brandon.
I think one of the other cool things too is all the offsite tours that are offered too. I know that when I went in Chicago last time, we visited the headquarters for Cisco in Chicago as well, and yeah, just a couple of other like process control, manufacturing, I guess technology deployments with Rockwell solutions. You get to kind of go tour and see them hands on, which is kind of nice too. So I think I'm signed up on the 20th of November to go to a culinary icons journey with Plex MES. So we'll kind of see how that. Yeah,
is there room left in that still?
Yeah, it's called the session's OT04. So
I'll have to get with you after this to see if I can jump on that train with you. If it's not conflicting.
The bakery one, they're doing like tours at Bimbo Bakeries in Montebello, and I think that's hilarious because I used to work for an OEM that made bakery equipment, and I've been in that facility before, and I think it's really cool that they're going to give tours of it. And we're always, I recall this particular OEM was always kind of using like the latest and greatest Rockwell stuff, so it was always kind of fun to be able to play with toys, you know, working around there.
Bimbo, like one of the largest bakeries in the U.S., like because they
in the
make bread
world,
for so many other brands.
In the world,
like in the world. Yeah.
I remember them being up in the Bay Area too.
We're big believers that like it's one thing to talk about technology, it's another thing to see technology in action and to see the applications that different people are using it for. And so when we can create experiences that give people an opportunity to ask questions of people that are actually using the technology every day, working with the assets and the systems, finding solutions that are sometimes, you know, maybe not as obvious if you're just looking at a product spec sheet or reading materials, that's a really great way to bring that to life. But we also do that on the show floor. So if you're not on an expo or you're not on an offsite tour, you know, one of the reasons we have 500,000 square feet of expo show floor is because we bring in a ton of machines and we create demos that are really about different applications of the technology and putting it to work and showing it in action so that folks have that opportunity to be able to say, this is how it would be used. These are the different elements it would connect to. Here's how you're going to be able to see the visualization of the data. Here's the, you know, here's things to think about in your deployment. And so our goal is to really create a lot of hands-on learning.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, Allie and I didn't get as much time as we would have liked on the show floor last year. So the fact that you have now 3 days makes it a lot easier. Or, you know, you still never have time to see all the things, but you know, you're not one of the large shows that's focused solely on the, you know, expo floor, right? So it hasn't always been, that's not the bulk of the experience in a lot of ways for Automation Fair. Courtney asked a great question earlier before you joined or before we even went live. But she's never been to Automation Fair before, but she's been an exhibitor and an attendee at many, many other industry trade shows. And she was asking, or she was just saying, she was looking forward to seeing how Automation Fair is different from other industry trade shows. Is that anything you'd like to comment on, Christine?
Well, we certainly think it's one of a kind.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest difference for us is that this is really an opportunity for us to demonstrate not just who we are as Rockwell and what we do with our customers, but the ecosystem we work with. So we have hundreds of partners in our ecosystem, and Automation Fair is really about showcasing how that ecosystem works together to solve problems, because we know no one company can do everything. And a lot of times, if you're at an industry trade show, you're going to see one company's point of view on their portion of solving a problem. At Automation Fair, you get to see how all of our partners work together with us to bring the best solutions forward, and how they integrate together, and how they think about challenges that our customers are facing in a collective form.
And a part of that is
I
also
think that's
just bringing all those ecosystem players together. They have, they already know they have a common shared, thing, that they're in this ecosystem, they're partners. And then I found that, at least the discussions that we've been part of, like, people are very open to try to, share with each other their experiences, help each other out, network. We actually, so last year, the reason we came was because Mike Clark, who is, I don't know his exact title, division manager of something or other, but Pulp and Paper is his division.
Okay.
And he invited us to come to the Pulp and Paper panel, or the Pulp and Paper forum, sorry.
Yes. One of the vertical forums that Vladimir was mentioning.
Yeah. So, and there was just a smaller group in that room. It wasn't huge, but those were people that were really interested in the topic at hand. And we ended up, after the panel, going out to dinner, and like, we've maintained being in touch. And I feel like, it's a big event, but it's comprised of a lot of smaller sort of things as well. And even when we went to lunch in that giant room of like just thousands of people, we sat at lunch with someone that like we had met, like somebody found us at lunch that we had met on LinkedIn. But Allie and him were talking about something, I forget what it was, technology related. But they had either interacted before or whatever that was. But it definitely felt like one of those places where you get as much value, maybe not as much, I don't know what ratio, but you get a lot of value out of the other attendees as well, just those relationships and kind of that networking, similar to how, we think a lot of the value of OT SCADACon is in who you meet and the relationships that you bring out of the event. Can you tell us a little bit more about, Christine, kind of like what your guys' vision is, or how networking plays a part in Automation Fair?
It's a significant part. I mean, we really believe that we're bringing together a community of makers, creators, innovators, and we want that idea sharing to be built into every aspect of the week. So, like you said, a lot of our sessions or our forums are built to have as much time in two-way dialogue or in small group breakouts as they are presenter-based content, because that's really where people can learn from each other and work to solve common challenges, whether it's, hey, I need to be able to drive more OEE, or we're really struggling with how to protect our environment from, rising cyber issues, or whether it's how to become more sustainable and really meet ERG goals. We want those to be discussions that we are helping to facilitate and be part of, but that aren't just Rockwell led. They're led by the organic nature of all of the attendees, whether it's you could be an OEM, an SI, a customer, a distributor, you be a control specialist, a motion specialist, you can have be in a leadership position, you can be at a more of an implementer level. It's really about bringing together a community of people trying to solve the same types of challenges in different environments, and how we can learn from one another. And we actually, as Rockwell, spend a lot of time at Automation Fair getting voice of customer and picking the brains of our users, doing product testing for next generation innovation, and using that as an opportunity for us to learn from our customers as well.
Yeah, awesome.
Are there any particular industry trends that you think are going to be hot topics of discussion among your, our attendees this year?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're definitely seeing a lot of discussion around how to leverage, AI as it comes into the workforce with a very fast acceleration. And we're actually seeing AI as a big enabler to solving some of the workforce challenges that have been happening by making teams more effective and being able to scale work more quickly. And whether it's how do we get someone onboarded into a new role faster, how do we provide work instruction in a consistent way, those are all areas where AI is going to have a big play in the future. And that's a conversation that has been a hot topic at a lot of industry events. Be a big push on cybersecurity resiliency and how people are building in that resiliency into their environments. And certainly last year we acquired a company called Verve, and that has really strengthened our cyber positioning in the marketplace as well. And so we're excited to bring some of the learnings of a year with Verve. And then we're seeing a lot on, autonomous mobile robots and things like that, AMRs. Otto is another acquisition that we brought into the family last year.
Yeah,
and so they're going to be on the show floor showcasing some new exciting technology.
Yeah, we actually did an interview with Cerna from Otto at Automate this year. Yes. And
yes.
Yeah, so I'll be pretty excited to take a look at. I've never really spent a lot of time with AMRs. And I guess I can't promise that at Automation Fair this year I will get a chance to do that because I may not prioritize it over some of this other stuff that I'm seeing on the schedule. That's the hard part, is like you can't pick all the things. That's totally me.
That's just it, right? Like you want to hit all of these.
Standing out for you, Nikki, on the schedule. What are you being drawn to? I'm curious.
I actually am really liking I'm interested in the co-pilots. So I saw a briefing for Asset Center co-pilot. There's a factory talk, design studio co-pilot, because I'm in the process of, working on some project management processes for SCADA support projects and other types of systems integration projects. And Asset Center is something that we deal with. SCADA screens are something, and the associated creating new things or just updating. We have a lot of different engineers that touch projects, so anything that we can help to streamline things, reuse things, have built-in smarts of any kind, right? And we are, I like using AI to an extent with things like scheduling, writing out, like taking information and putting it into reusable formats, templating, things like that. So, Copilot or ChatGPT. But I haven't yet used something where like there's a specific kind of Copilot built in for any actual use cases other than like ask me questions about, rather than go to the traditional help center, you now have like a chat, right? But I'd be very curious to see what these co-pilot features are in the context of like an engineer that actually works with these softwares. Is it just, now instead of, asking the help question and picking from a choice of answers, am I chatting with it? Or is it actually, helping build things or helping, guide programming or anything of that nature? So that is kind of the thing that sticks out to me the most, because it's tactical, but also like on a strategic level, really interesting. And it's a very practical application that I'm not too far from touching myself in my like day-to-day stuff.
Yeah.
But then I was also very interested in, so we're doing a few interviews on the Rock Live stage, which is very exciting. Yes. And
that's great.
Talking about building a business case for OT cybersecurity. That one was the one that I immediately was like, oh, I want that one. Because it's very, very hot on everybody's mind. We work with a lot of county, like there's utilities and there's just like all of this cyber stuff is just happening to everyone around us all the time, including ourselves. Like it just happened. So I think that would be a super interesting one for me. I don't know if Allie and Courtney have gotten a chance. Do you
have the women in manufacturing?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you have the women in manufacturing luncheon on your schedule yet?
No, I don't.
We mentioned
Okay,
we mentioned
definitely need to
that
get you-
between me and Allie before,
Okay,
but I don't
registered for
remember
that
which
one.
day
I
it
will
was.
take a note to make sure we add you.
Okay. I am actually a member of WIM here in Texas, but I have yet to make it to any one of their events. The only reason I make it to my own podcast is because it's like this. It's like I can hop on right after a meeting and I can hop off and go to another meeting. But to in-person luncheons and things like that, not so much. But at shows, they're great opportunities
Brandon,
for people like me who, like, when I'm at home, I can't get out to events very much. If I'm already at a show, or an event like this, then I'm already out. I'm already there. If I can fit it in my schedule, then that's great. And it's a great way to like catch up with those other, groups that you're involved with that are part of the ecosystem, but kind of their own communities, right?
Yeah.
Brandon, what are you focused on at Automation Fair this year?
Yeah, so I think this year is really honing in on our partner programs that we have with some different vendors here in North America, right? Just really honing in on skill sets and more turnkey stuff that we're trying to put out the door. Like I said before, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but we're partnered with Westburn and Rockwell here in Canada, obviously, and that's kind of how we made our introduction into this year. So I think just kind of hanging out with that community, kind of rubbing shoulders with people that, with clients and end users that are looking for solutions that they might not have from different SIs, right? And kind of focusing your skill set and tool set that you've built with your partners to kind of help maybe provide them a solution in the future, right? So I think it's a big networking thing. My first year I really focused on, I think, building my skill sets within like new technology in Rockwell that I don't touch, that isn't within my, I guess, my subject matter expertise, right? But I think this time around it's going to be a different focus with partners, and different solutions that are out there for deploying these systems easier. Kind of like Nikki said with the chat bots and all the other tools that you might not know about, right? So, yeah, most excited for that. Obviously,
we have over 60 new products that we're going to be launching at Automation Fair this year. So, yeah, I'm sure there will be a few that will be new.
Yeah, I'm
Brandon's your perfect like early adopter because he's small and nimble enough, and he has the drive to like test stuff out on his own, get things in the lab, introduce new things to his customer.
Big time.
So
I think the most exciting one is the release of the L9 controllers this year. I'm really looking forward to that, and then really just trying to build up the library with the process user group with all the Plant PX DCS deployment stuff. Because I mean, in the last year, I've done lots of those deployments and lots of questions, lots of extensive learning, and hoping to kind of build on kind of what we've achieved. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Is there a forum for you, Brandon, that's focused on like oil and gas or DCS systems, or like something that's kind of specific to what you're doing?
Yeah, so
there's the process users group, which is one of our summits, which is a half-day experience that's really focused around process, Plant PAX, different user group environments. But then there's also an oil and gas vertical forum.
Yeah, I'm doing the process solutions user group one on the Tuesday. On the Tuesday.
Great.
Just signed up for it today.
Yeah, that'll be a really good one too. I'm doing a couple of like backroom sessions that I've been invited to from some internal people at Rockwell too, just for some feedback directly on products and everything too. So I'm really, really excited for those ones as well, because you kind of get that direct line of feedback as opposed to just maybe a keynote or I guess a technology session, hands-on session, right? So
Brandon's proven my point. See, we use Automation Fair. We test all of our next. We make sure that we're building for what our customers are actually going to need and to use and how they're going to use it. And so those backroom sessions are so important to us because it's a really great way to get real-time feedback.
Yeah, 100%. Like
Courtney.
the last.
Go ahead. Brandon, sorry, keep going.
Yeah, no, the first year that I went, I met up with Amber. I believe she's one of the process user group people with PlanPX, and had some direct feedback on some stuff, and actually seen those changes implemented over a couple of years. So it's pretty cool to see that all kind of come together too. So yeah. Anyways, didn't mean to cut
Very
you
cool.
off there, Nikki.
No, that's okay. That's my bad. I found that my interrupting is in fact like kind of a ADHD thing, and I've struggled with it for years. I'd say for 20 years I've been like telling people, I'm sorry I interrupt, I'm working on it, but I never seem to get better.
I'm just as bad. I'm
really trying. I have been for a long time. But I wanted to ask Courtney if you have heard any more from Allie. I know she's driving, so I don't want to put her on the spot here, but if there's anything else that you guys like registered for or that you guys saw that you want to mention.
Yeah, we were both noting like all the cybersec sessions that appear to be there. So it's definitely like, it seems like it's a hot topic. I was also particularly interested in the ones you mentioned, like Copilot. I like just this last year started using an AI note taker and Copilot for stuff work related. And if you live in that land where like you're in founder life and you have to be 5 places at once and you literally can't be on every single meeting, the AI note takers are huge. And like just a Copilot ID, like just being able to ask AI to do stuff that you didn't realize you could ask it to do has been wild for me this year. And I'm sure it's like even more than I give it credit for. And then I'm also trying to do more robot stuff. So I saw that there was some AMR sessions and also like a cobot session.
Okay, cobot session, definitely. You're going to have to hit that one. So big news flash from Automation Ladies. We are now offering training. We have a 1-day on-site cobot training conducted by your one and only Courtney Fernandez. She will fly in with a UR5E and train you and your people for a day. Or if you want something custom, we can customize it to your application. But otherwise, she'll have a standard curriculum. Do you want to give us a rundown of what that training looks like, Courtney?
Sure. I accidentally found myself in possession of a UR5E and basic gripper. So I want to do like application specific training for people. So if I bring a robot to your facility, I'd do at least a half day of just basics with a cobot, and then, a half day of whatever it is you're trying to do with a cobot. So if it's palletizing or something specific, then I would do a half day of that specific application with your people as well.
Yeah, very cool. So, and being an effective trainer requires many things. One of them is you have to know your subject matter very well. The other one is that you have to be actually...
Shit, fuck. Hold on. It was charging, but not fast enough.
Dang, I'm going to put you, Courtney. It's okay. That's all right. Excuse us. We try not to do this on the lives, but it does happen. And our show is already rated explicit on iTunes. We apologize, but it does happen. This is our life. This is our real life. You get what you get.
Do you set that rating yourself, or is that something that's kind of just handed out automatically?
Once you have a swear word, it's handed out and it needs to stay there. So once we had a swear word and we got rated, we were like, well, we're already rated R.
They may as well not get derated. I mean, it's at least you got it.
We try to keep it professional on the lives. I'm just gonna. Courtney looks like she froze there anyway, so I'll drop her off now. But yeah, that's
Courtney.
We really care about teaching others what we learn. And one of the things that we want to do with our community and on Automation Ladies is try to take away that blocker that you have to be the end all be all expert to teach other people or to put your content out there. Really, all you need is to be one step ahead of somebody else, and then you can teach them something that they didn't know. People end up choosing the content that, resonates with them or that meets the needs of what they're looking for at that time. So even if you're not the industry expert that's had, 3 decades in the industry, if you just learned something cool, you should share it with someone else. Sharing is caring. And yep. I actually had a really awesome conversation with one of our LinkedIn friends, who's another systems integrator, Brennan Duger over at Blue Collar Automation. He will be attending OT Skatacon next year. He was on a big install and couldn't come last year or this year. but he wants to start creating some content. And he actually, I think it was like Rockwell related as well. He was telling me, I'm not going to blow his, whole secret of what his content is going to be, but he came up with some stuff to make his work easier.
Cool.
And he was like, nobody ever taught me this. I wish that they had, but now that I know it, I want to teach it to other people. So he's going to create some video content, and we'll hopefully partner up with him, or at least just, do a friendly reshare and make sure to get that content out to our friends, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and I think the biggest part too is like, if you got ideas with content too, I mean, it's tough. We're all very busy with your day-to-day technical deployments, everything like that.
Yep.
So I think if you can find a partner that you can, it actually makes like financial sense, or somebody you could partner with to do a joint venture with it. So I think that's finding the right people to make good content as well. And like you said, you don't have to be the expert with it. You can kind of work with different partners, work with different people to kind of build that content you want to deliver, right?
Well, it's the same idea as the whole ecosystem for the entire industry, right? Like you literally can't build it alone.
Nope.
And maybe you could, right? But it's a lot more efficient, and you get a lot more done if you do it together, or with the right partners that, fill in gaps that you don't have, capacity that you don't have, technologies that you don't specialize in.
Yep.
Right. That's how we get more done together.
Well, my buddy Ryan has a media startup company here in Saskatchewan, and another one of his mutual connections is an automation technologist in Vancouver.
No
and
kidding.
he's gonna be here over the course of December for about 2 weeks. So we're gonna try and shoot some content in their new studio in Saskatoon, and try and put some stuff out and maybe make something of it here. So
I've got ambitions of a real studio when Allie moves to town, to Houston.
That's awesome.
And until then, it's kind of pointless. It would just be me sitting in a studio. And then that kind of defeats my jumping on a meeting and jumping off thing that I just said, where I'd have to go somewhere. But I got some great advice from somebody earlier, actually, a member of the Industrial Solutions Network, which is one of your big partners through CED, one of your distributors, Christine, we were just talking about as well. They said they bring about 20% of the people to Automation Fair.
wow.
They have so many customers. They have like 75 locations across the U.S. That are, Rockwell Solutions providers, and they bring people from all of them, from all over the country, to Automation Fair.
Yeah.
But
awesome.
And I got some really great
They have a big
advice
group that
today.
comes.
Yeah, and that was to
Go ahead.
not
Sorry.
just think about what we can do with our current capacity, but if we want to look at, like, if we really are brainstorming about a project, think about what the ideal outcome is, and then, like, what would we need to be able to produce that? Not just what can we do with our capacity today. Because even as automation ladies, like with this thing, it's kind of grown from like, hey, we do this little podcast on the, in the off hours, which we don't have any off hours. And then we want to do so much more, but it's really challenging, right? To balance with all the other things that we have to do. And the answer is really, we need to partner with more people, because we can't do it all. And like, to get to where we want to go, we need more hands on deck. We need more resources. I'm going to throw up a comment from earlier, Johnny Wilson's. Thanks for joining us, Johnny. Only ever been to Rockwell Automation on the move. They tend to keep me locked up. Yeah, so some companies, unfortunately, don't send their engineers to a lot of shows. But Rockwell on the move, is that like a mini roadshow kind of thing?
It's like a mini roadshow version of Automation Fair. Yes.
Well, it's very nice of you to try to bring the party to those that can't go, even though it's never going to be as good as the real thing.
Yeah, just got to dangle the carrot every now and then, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I guess let me see here. Who else we got here? Oh, hey, Albert. Your IT guy, you joined way too late, man. We had so many problems in the beginning. Albert says, hey, Copilot, that's about as useful as some of these chatbots are now. Telling you how to use themselves. And then they're usually not very helpful. So I'm really looking forward to, like, where's the meat? Stop telling me what it could do. Like, show me just it doing something that I actually need to get done, or my engineers need to get done, right? Michael's going to be attending 2 backdoor sessions this year. So what's a backdoor session? Oh, we just mentioned that earlier. That's like them meeting with some experts to give feedback and stuff, right?
Yep. A lot of times if we're working on some product development areas, or if we are trying to get feedback on a recent release, then it's a great way for us to hear, what is resonating, what features are resonating, how it's working in use, what they'd like to see be integrated into the solution. They're really awesome ways for us to just get voice of customer and partner, and make sure that we're developing our innovation and our product roadmaps according to the needs that are actually most desired by our users.
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought of something else. So also, Michael works for Mastal Technologies. Brandon, you guys have talked before, right? From OT SCADACon. Alex Poole, who came on the show recently, the owner of Mastal, was telling me that they're working on some AI stuff too. And I already reached out to you, Brandon, about this. But I want to bring it up now because we are going to be doing an AI panel on Automation Ladies where we really want to discuss some real stuff. So I'll probably reference back to what I learned at Automation Fair and some other stuff. And then Brandon's going to come on and talk about some of the stuff that he's been developing with AI for his customers. Mastal is going to come on and talk about some of the stuff that they're developing. So they're systems integrators, kind of developing something, that kind of sits in the stack with what specialty they have with their customers, something that solves a problem for them or for their customers. And maybe we can get somebody from Rockwell on to talk about some of these things that we find on the show. So just for the audience, I want to throw that out there. If you or someone is working on something cool with AI in the industrial automation space, and you are willing to talk about it, and it's not just your marketing stuff, but it's something real that you've done, you have a use case, or you're developing something, hit us up, because maybe you can be part of our panel, or you can at least help us with some of the discussion points. Because I really don't, I love the keynotes. I went to NVIDIA's conference this year, and to then see all the industrial automation brands on that partnership slide brought up on the huge screen with Jensen, it was really nice. And then I saw at Automate, and it's been talked about, right? And there's all this potential, and the potential is amazing. And now I want to okay, but what's the thing that we're actually doing? Those are both very fun conversations to have. But yes, so we'll be doing that sometime, probably next year. And other things that I'm looking for that I just thought of is our friend Chris Lukey is hosting a manufacturing happy hour on Tuesday, I think in partnership with either Gray Solutions or Harding. And I feel bad now that I don't remember which one, because they co-sponsored one of the last ones. So it's either one of those fun partners. And I think that is also one of the things that I love about these shows, is some of the events that the community puts on that aren't necessarily linked directly to the show. But it just really showcases kind of that commitment, and the fact that we can use these shows as a way to get together. And when we don't otherwise have the ability to, all go for a weekend and hang out in some city, you can, go have a little fun with your work friends, like my kids like to call it. I travel a lot, and, I want them to know that I enjoy my job. So I maybe oversimplify it a little, but I get to go hang out with my friends in lots of cool places as part of my job. And they actually got to dress up for Halloween the day before Halloween for school as the profession that they want to be when they grow up. And my son chose superhero, and my daughter chose me.
That's awesome.
And I was like, I can't really explain to you.
I love that.
I was like, well, why don't you just wear a nice dress? And I was like, you need a blazer, girl. You can't dress up for a trade show or something unless you got a blazer. But I put her in a nice cardigan, which is what I used to wear at the beginning of my career, probably for the first 10 years. Awesome. As a sales engineer. And she came home. She's like, Mommy, I had to explain to my teacher what I meant by I want to work at QuoteBeam when I grow up. But, that is part of what I love about our industry. Most of us that are in it, we really are passionate about it. There's parts of it that we just find so fun. It's like we get to play with things for a living. Of course, it has, a lot of stress and its ups and downs and all these things. The fact that things that are being made that, affect our economy or cost, like things that we consume, right? There's a lot of responsibility and pressure along with a lot of our jobs. Like if we stop a line or, something.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's a lot of fun to be had. And an event like Automation Fair is one of those things that ticks both those boxes. You get the enrichment for your career, you get those connections, and you get to have a little bit of fun. So with that, we're just right up on time. So I guess any final thoughts of what you hope that, attendees will take away from Automation Fair this year, and your last pitch for getting them to sign up now if they haven't signed up yet? Where should they go?
Well, there's still time to sign up for Automation Fair. So go to rockwellautomation.com and, you'll be right at the registration. You'll be able to get right to the registration for the event. You can still sign up. You can still have a great full schedule at Automation Fair this year. But my wish always is the same for every attendee at Automation Fair. I hope that it exceeds expectations, and I hope that they're able to bring back something new, a new skill, a new learning, a new opportunity, a new value add for their organization as a result of having participated. And I hope that they're able to network and make some good connections as well, and be able to just be part of our really exciting community. We really enjoy the time we have together, and looking forward to spending some time with you guys at Automation Fair too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, likewise. I was about to say, all I promise, if you go to Automation Fair and you heard this, if you just message me, and if you're interested, you will also make a new friend.
Yeah, always good friends to be made.
Yeah, Brandon, any final thoughts? Anything you want people to know, or should they message you to meet up if they're going to be at Automation Fair?
Oh, absolutely. My family will be there with me this go around, but yeah, definitely. If you're around and you want to chat and you have any questions about different subject matter, I guess, expertise in the process world and connections you need to make, people you want to be introduced to, just feel free to reach out, because it's going to be a ride.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Brandon's making use of Anaheim.
Absolutely. Big time. It's a family event. It goes back to what Nikki was saying about her kids wanting to be like her. Kids wanted to come with me this year, so they get to come.
Yeah, I wish. It's on my future wish list to bring my kids out to California. Also to hang out with Courtney's kids, because they're not too far off in age. And yeah, you end up making these connections through work, and a lot of them, carry on past jobs, right? Some people become family friends. We spend so much time with our work colleagues that it really makes sense, to try to nurture some of those relationships. And I just want to give our audience a quick, encouragement too. If you see somebody in the comments here, it means that they're probably kind of on our wavelength. They like our community. They want to be helpful. They want to network. They want to share their expertise. So go ahead and connect with those people that you saw in the comments. And you never know what kind of value you're going to get out of collaborating with them. This is not about us. This is about the community. So thanks for being part of our community as Automation Ladies. We have a YouTube channel where this live stuff gets streamed to, and maybe soon we'll have some actual edited videos that we'll be trying to put on there. So please do try to subscribe to that if you're into our content. And yeah, see you guys around on LinkedIn. We'll have another live coming up for you next week. All right, bye-bye.
See you guys. Ciao.